Hello, today we're going to talk about the IGH vowel team pattern. The IGH vowel team pattern makes the long I sound like in night. I, t, I. So IGH represents that I sound. To do these activities today, it may be helpful to have a pencil and paper so you can follow along with me. To get started, let's think about the sounds in words. If a word has the long I sound, I, give me a thumbs up. If it does not say I, give me a thumbs down. So in the word right, I hear I, so it's a thumbs up. What about the word night? Night is a thumbs up. It has that I sound, so thumbs up. What about knit? Knit is a thumbs down. It does not say I, so it's a thumbs down. What about fight? Fight is a thumbs up. It has the long I sound. What about flight? Flight is also a thumbs up. It has that long I sound. What about fit? Fit is a thumbs down. It is a short vowel sound. It does not say I. What about sigh? Sigh is a thumbs up. It has the long I sound. What about sit? Sit is a thumbs down. It does not make the long I sound, so it's a thumbs down. What about thin? Thin is a thumbs down. It is not the long I sound, it's a thumbs down. Last one, what about thigh? Thigh is a thumbs up. It has the long I sound. Today we're really going to focus on that long I sound, and in this case it's spelled by the vowel team IGH. Let me show you how I can use those sounds in order to write some words. Let's say I have the word sigh. I stretch the sounds. I. There's two sounds in that word. I'm going to use the IGH pattern to spell the long I sound. The first sound in sigh, is spelled with an S. The second sound in sigh, I, is spelled IGH. I, sigh. Do one with me. Say the word might. Might. Stretch the sounds with me. I, t. There's three sounds. First sound is spelled M. Second sound is I. I is spelled IGH in this word. Last sound is T, spelled T. Might. Let's do another one together. Let's do the word night. Repeat. Night. Stretch the sounds with me. Notice it has that long I sound, so we're going to use that IGH pattern. First sound was N. N is spelled with the letter N. The next sound is I. How do we spell I in these words? You're right, IGH. Last sound is N-I-T. How do we spell that T? That's right, that's a T. N-I-T follows our pattern because it has that long I sound and it's spelled with the vowel team IGH. Now I want you to try one. Say the word high. Stretch the sounds. You should have heard two sounds. I, so we will just use these boxes. Think about how you spell those sounds. If you have your whiteboard and your marker or your pencil and paper, you can go ahead and write those sounds with those letters. How do you spell the and how do you spell the I using the IGH vowel team? If you said the H spells the sound and the IGH represents that long I sound, you would be correct. I, hi. Let's try another one. Your word is fright. Go ahead and stretch the sounds. Stretch them again with me to make sure that you have all the sounds. I, t. I notice it has that long I sound, so we're going to spell it using that IGH vowel team. How did you spell the f sound? Write it down if you haven't yet. How did you spell the Check your paper. How did you represent that I sound using our vowel team? And last but not least, how did you spell the t at the end? Let's check our work. I, t. Is spelled with an F. Is spelled with an R. I, that long I sound, is spelled with IGH. T is spelled with a T. I, t. Fright. Let's do one last one. Say the word bright. Stretch the sounds. There's 4 sounds in that word. What is the first sound? How do you spell that sound? The first sound was B, and it's spelled with a B. The next sound is and it's spelled with an R. I. How do we spell the long I using our vowel team pattern? If you said IGH, you are correct. The last sound is T. How do you spell the T sound? If you said T, you are correct. I, T. We can also use this pattern to help us when we're trying to read words. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these letters and think about how each of these letters represents a sound. Right away, I can see that I have the IGH pattern. That's going to work together to make a single sound. So I put that into a single sound box. I also notice that I have a T consonant and I have another T consonant. Each of those makes their own sound. Together, I can see that I have T, I, T, tight. Help me to find the sounds in this word. Where do you see some letters that work together? I notice that it also has the IGH vowel team that works together to make the single long I sound. There's other consonants that make a single sound as well. The P makes a single sound, the ul makes a sound, and the T makes a sound. This word is P, ul, I, T, plight. How about in this last word here? How can letters work together to make sounds? You probably saw that IGH vowel team pattern that makes the long I sound. What else do you notice about this word? I see that it has a consonant T that says T. This word is unique in the fact that it also has that digraph KN with that silent K and the K and N working together just to make the N sound. When I use these patterns, it helps me to be able to see that this word is N, I, T, night. Can you look at these words and figure out where you could put boxes around the individual sounds to help you to read these words? If it's helpful, you can copy the words on your notebook, pause so you can draw the boxes, and then come back and check your work. Let's check this first one. Where do you see some letters that work together to make a single sound? You may have noticed the TH. TH is a digraph that works together to make a single sound. You probably also noticed the IGH. There's 2 sounds in this word. Th, I, thigh. Let's look at the next one. Where are there some letters that work together to make a single sound? You probably noticed the IGH here. That makes that long I sound. Every other letter in this word is going to make its own sound though. So we have the S, the ul, and the T at the end of the word. When I put this together, I see s, o, I, t, slight. This next word looks almost identical, but we're missing that L. So I know that in this next word that the IGH still works together to make the long I sound. The S is represented by that letter S, and the T is represented by that T at the end. This word says S, I, T, sight. You can use that to help you when you're reading words or when you're writing words, listening to those sounds and matching it to the letters. Take a moment and read each of these words. You may need to pause the video so you can read them and then come back and read them with me when you're done. Okay, let's read them together now. We're going to just try to read them word by word without sounding and blending. So if you haven't practiced them yet, you may want to practice them first and then come back and practice them with me. Ready? Let's read them together. Bright, flight, high, might, night, plight, thigh, sight. Let's read them one more time. Bright, flight, high, might, night, plight, thigh, sight. Good job. Now let's also practice writing some words. Make sure to stretch each one of the sounds so that you can hear each different sound and then represent it using the correct letters. Listen carefully for that long I sound so that you know when to use your IGH pattern. The first word is tight. Check your spelling. Did you spell it T, I, T? Nice job. Your next word is sigh. Okay, let's check our spelling. Did you spell it S, I? Our third word is fright. Stretch each sound and spell the sounds that you hear using that IGH pattern for the long I sound. Are you ready to check? The word is spelled I, T. Fright. F-R-I-G-H-T. Our next word is right. Stretch each sound and write what you hear. Okay, let's check your spelling. The word is spelled I, T. Right. Our last word is light. Think about each sound and how you could use your spelling patterns to write them. Are you ready to check? This word is spelled I, T. Light. Nice job. You use that IGH pattern to help you to read words and write them. The last thing you can do today is to read a story that has a lot of words that have that IGH pattern. This story is called The Kind Knight, and I noticed right here that we have that IGH pattern. N, I, T. Watch as I read this first page, looking for those IGH patterns to help me to decode. In a far-off land, a dragon was giving people a fright. The king sent a knight to find and slay the dragon. Read that with me. In a far-off land, a dragon was giving people a fright. The king sent a knight to find and slay the dragon. Let's keep reading together. One night, the knight rode out to find the dragon. A flock of crows took flight at the sight of the knight, speeding along on his steed. So notice here we have the word night spelled two different ways. This is like the time of day night. This is the night, our main character. Let's keep moving with our story. The knight saw a bright light rise from behind a hill. The knight held on tight as he sped toward the light. By and by, the knight rode through the night. He thought the bright light might be from the dragon. Now, if you want to know how the story finishes, I'll show you each page. You can pause so that you can read that page and then start the video again when you want to move on to the next page. Thanks for working with me today as we worked on the IGH pattern, which says I. You can always come back and do this video again to practice some more. Here's the rest of the story.